Hello and welcome everybody to about 10 or 15 minutes of what it's like to be a CEO of a small company. We have about 49 people. I'm 64 years old. I'll turn 65 March the 5th of this year. And it's exciting. You know, with COVID going on and all the stuff, the economy, stocks up, stocks down, unemployment at its lowest level in the Oklahoma City area, lots of variables, lots of things to work through. And so I want to talk about a few of those things. If you've been following my videos, I've been talking about going to Dubai. Last week there wasn't a video because I was in Dubai and I'd never been before, and it is easy to go to Dubai from the United States. Matter of fact, I flew on a non-stop flight to Dubai out of Dallas, Texas. Now, I did drive down to Dallas in my car because on an international flight, sometimes there's delays, and on the way back, there was a 3-hour delay. So I'm really glad I drove my own car down to Dallas, because when we got into Dallas, I was able to go through customs, go out to my car, and drive home instead of having maybe a delay to the next day. So it was great planning for myself. Had a great trip. One of the things that happened, we flew Emirates, and we got an opportunity to upgrade to business class. It was $1,150 per person. There were 2 of us flying. And I thought when I did the upgrade, it was a round trip. But actually, that was just for one way. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And one of the things that I do is I look at what I do and I give away books. Our company, Pacebutler, gives away books to people that are in jails and prisons, homeless shelters, and other organizations where people need the knowledge in order to be successful. So when I made a decision to do an $1,150 upgrade times 2, because I want to do it with my traveling partner, that meant I couldn't give that same money to give away books. And so I had to really weigh whether or not this was a good decision. Now, I'm worth millions of dollars, and there may be something else that I could have taken away, and that's really what I did. Was I looked at some other things, because when you make the money that I've made, from starting from zero to getting up to that part, I still want to be protective. I want to be good with the money. I don't want to waste the money. You know, I don't drive an expensive brand new car. I keep my expenses low. If you want to be financially successful, you've got to spend less than you make. That's number one. So making the decision to upgrade to business class, and the reason why I did it was not because of the snobbishness of flying business class, because you get a flat bed. And a flat bed on a 14-hour flight really helps. Now, on the way back, the upgrade was $2,200 per person, and I chose to fly coach, obviously. Have you ever had a 34-hour day? I just have. So Dubai is 10 hours ahead of Oklahoma City. And on the way to Dubai, I had a 14-hour day because I actually lost 10 hours. But when I got to Dubai, I was rested. I got some sleep that night. We got in Sunday evening. I went right to sleep. I got up first thing on Monday morning, and I went for a run. I got up at 4:50, just like I do when I'm in the United States. I got up at 4:50 and I went for a run. I did 150 push-ups every day. One of the things that I find that's very important, and there's a lot of books right now that talk about it, is the importance of having great routines in our lives. So flying international, sometimes it gets a little jicky on whether or not I can stick with my routine. Some non-negotiables right now in my life are, number one, 150 push-ups every day, and another is to pray for 10 minutes every day. I need to pray on my knees, if possible, for 10 minutes. Now, there's some circumstances where I maybe have to pray in a chair, but I have to pray for 10 minutes every day. That's a non-negotiable. And if I don't pray for 10 minutes, or if I don't do my push-ups, I have a negative consequence. And what it is that I eat dog food, and canned dog food. My favorite choice is Alpo, and they've been changing the recipes, and I just had to eat some Alpo day before yesterday, and it's disgusting, and that's why I do it, because I don't want to eat Alpo. And so sometimes that that commitment that if I don't do what I want to do, and I know I've got to eat dog food, I go ahead and do what I don't want to do. Successful people do what they don't want to do. Unsuccessful people only do what they want to do. They just run their lives by emotions. Yeah, I want to do that, I'll do it. No, I don't want to do that, I'm not going to do it. Well, sometimes we don't want to get up to go to work. And when I was not successful, I just wouldn't go to work. Sometimes I don't want to be polite, but I know that I need to be polite. I need to pay my bills on time. So we got to figure out how we can have great routines in our lives. It makes it so much easier. Great routines, using a planner, having a to-do list, knowing what we need to get done, very, very important. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to go to testify for a person in Oklahoma. He had been charged with several serious charges. He's already been to prison 3 times. And I went there to present to the judge an alternative to sending him back to prison for the 4th time. And what I recommended to the judge, that he allow me to mentor this person for 6 months. And during that 6 months, there'd be a lot of activities that he would do that would help this kid, 38 years old, help this kid to reprogram his thinking. Going to prison, you get programmed. Being in certain environments, you get programmed. And I thought that if he worked with me for 6 months and then came back to court again, the judge would see a huge difference in his attitude and wouldn't see the need to send him to prison. He'd already been punished 3 times. He needed to be reprogrammed. He needed to have a different outlook. I think all of us want to do what's right. All of us want to be good. All of us want to make a positive difference. There is a small group of people that are just evil. And I don't think Dylan was an evil person at all. And so I went to testify yesterday to the judge and give him an alternative besides sending this person to prison. Now there was a few challenges. Number one, there was a very serious, very emotional case that went up in front of the judge before we had an opportunity to go in front of the judge, and there was a lot of hurt. Everybody in the courtroom was tearful during that 2-hour presentation. Everybody. Me, my eyes were full of tears. And the friend that I brought with me, his eyes were full of tears. And there was snot, there was a lot of handkerchiefs and tissue that was being thrown. And the judge heard that, and when I went up to do my presentation, the judge was still emotionally drained. I was emotionally drained. And he did not decide to put him in my custody, to put Dylan in my custody for 6 months. He decided to send him to prison. He gave him 10 years in prison. And it's sad, because Dylan, I've been working with him since he's 17, 18 years old, whenever he got out of prison, but he'd always put a half-hearted effort into it. And this time he was really putting some effort into it. It wasn't 100%, but it was a lot better than it had been in the past, and I thought there was a good chance that the judge would try it. Because here's the deal. If during that 6-month time, when I would have been coaching Dylan, if Dylan would not have been coachable during that 6-month period, I would have taken him back to the judge, and the judge could have sent him to prison. Because we only get so many chances, Do we really want to have a successful life? Are we willing to do what it takes to have a successful life? Are we willing to have the right routines? And if you have the right routine, then it can grow into a habit. A habit is something that we do automatically without having to think. I wake up at 4:50 in the morning every morning. That's a habit. At first, it was a routine. At first, it was very difficult to do it. I had to use my self-discipline to be able to wake up at 4:50 in the morning. If I want to sleep in, I go to bed early. So if normally I go to bed at 9:30 and I want to sleep in, then I go to bed at 8:30. I sleep in. I start going to bed earlier. I can control what time I get up. I can't always control what time I need to go to sleep because of activities that are going on with the family and friends and work, but I can control on what time I wake up. And so it took me a year and a half of the routine of getting up at 4:50 before it became automatic. This morning, I'm still kind of experiencing a little bit of what they call jet lag, but this morning when I got up, I woke up, I looked at the alarm clock, and it was 4:48, 2 minutes before. I was awake. I was ready. I got up, I went into the bathroom, I did the personal stuff, I weighed myself, and then I did 50 push-ups. And then I shaved. And then I did 50 more push-ups. And then I prayed for 10 minutes. I got one of these really cool things. If you have a little baby, if you have a toddler and you give them baths, there's this thing where you get a pad for your knees and then a padding that you put on the side of the bathtub, and then you can put stuff in it. Well, I use that as my prayer altar. It cost me about $20 or $30. I bought it on Amazon. So I put that on the side of the bathtub, and that's where I pray. And so after I did my second set of 50 push-ups this morning, then I prayed for 10 minutes. And I also read Proverbs 19, because today's the 19th day of the month. I read Proverbs 19 out of the Message version, out of the Bible called the Message. I read Proverbs 19, and then I prayed for 10 minutes. And I asked for wisdom. And I asked God to use me as a tool to help other people, to serve God, to glorify God, and to help other people. And I prayed for 10 minutes. And then when I got done doing that, I did my third set of 50 push-ups. And then I did 30 pull-ups using one of those pull-up bars that you can put in a doorway. I did 30 pull-ups. And I'm 64 and I feel really good. I've got a lot of energy, you know. I can see clearly, I can hear well, I got a good memory. One of the things I do is I drink a lot of water. Now, when I was 26, I did not drink coffee, but I got around a bunch of people that they drank coffee, and I wanted to fit in. So I started drinking coffee. Well, caffeine's got caffeine in it, and it gives you a boost. But we drink way too much coffee. I was drinking way too much coffee, way too much caffeine. I don't need that much caffeine, and it was really affecting my sleep at night. And so if you drink, when I first get up in the morning, one of the things I do is I drink over 20 ounces of water when I first wake up. Right after I come out of the bathroom, I drink 20 ounces of water, at least. And so drinking more water has given me more energy. If you feel tired, look at your hydration. Are you drinking enough water? And it's really simple. You know, I don't drink water that's purified and all that stuff. I just drink it right out of the tap. I've traveled around the world, and I can tell you the water in Oklahoma City is just fine. I don't need to pay several dollars per gallon in little 20-ounce bottles or 16-ounce bottles to get the hydration I need. So this is a 16-ounce cup of water. It's on my desk. I got a gallon bottle that I refill. I drink a lot of water. You know, successful people, there's not just this one thing that makes it happen, but if there was, it would be great habits. Great habits and understanding the law of compounding. Doing something over a period of time, every day. And if we miss a day, make sure we don't miss 2. So 7 days a week, I do 150 push-ups. For 7 days a week, I pray for 10 minutes. You know, on Sundays, I go to church. You know, Sundays is my traditional day to go to church. I know there's a lot of people that there are some people that go to church on Saturdays, and that's cool. I am a Christian, and I am glad that I'm a Christian. We all need heroes. And Jesus Christ, or Jesus the Christ, was a great example of how to be. He loved people. He had tons of forgiveness. He believed in mercy. He believed in grace. I mean, he had this tight little band of people that followed him, and they all betrayed him. At the time when he needed them the most, they betrayed him. And then when he came back into their presence, he forgave them. He forgave all of their mistrust, their denial of him. We all need heroes. Do you have a hero in your life? Do you have a physical hero? Do you have someone in your life that's a hero that has characteristics in their life that you would like to have? We all need to be inspired. One of my heroes is Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was an incredible lady. She just gave, you know. She wanted to give dignity to the people of Calcutta that were dying in the streets, to let them have at least dignity in their last few days of life. And she wanted to help people not to live the way they were living. We all need heroes. Jackie Robinson was a great hero. The guy that owned the baseball team, that brought Jackie Robinson onto the team, that was an incredible move. Lance Armstrong is one of my heroes. Tiger Woods is another hero. You know, the media and our society wants to knock down every hero, everybody that's done great things. To be President of the United States of America, you cannot be stupid to be able to be President of the United States. All of us that sit on the sidelines and say we got a dumb president, have we ever really sat down with that person individually and made that determination, or are we doing that through the filter of the media? Anybody that's President of the United States is a smart person. Do we all make mistakes? Absolutely. And if we're under the microscope of media and everybody's opinion, people are going to slam us. But are we doing what's right within us? Are we living by our values? Are we doing what we think is important? I sure am trying. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to be the best CEO I can be. And in order to be the best CEO I can be, I need to read, I need to learn, I need to have heroes in my life that I aspire to be. Not the whole thing. I mean, not like in a God sent that they're my idol. You know, God is first in my life. But there are people in my life that help me to really be a better person. Do you have a hero in your life? Who can be a hero in your life? Who can set examples? Who can inspire you to take actions? Because it's there in all of us. We can do more than what we're doing. What are our standards? What are our hero standards? Can we live up to what our hero standards are? To me, that's what it's about. We continue to grow. If you haven't read the book, The Science of Getting Rich, I encourage you to get the book, The Science of Getting Rich. I also encourage you to listen to it on YouTube. It's a 2-hour and 5-minute audio on YouTube. The Science of Getting Rich by Waddles. I had a conversation this morning with a friend of mine who is a hero of mine, and I'd recommended to him to get Atomic Habits for everybody in his family, and he did. And this morning he was sharing with me an important statement that comes from the book. His son said to him that, "Dad, I am a reader." And that statement might not make much sense to you, but if you read the book Atomic Habits cover to cover, you will fully understand how significant that statement was. I encourage you to get those two books, Atomic Habits and The Science of Getting Rich. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this with your friends. Please hit the like button. And if you want to talk to me, my phone number is down below. Just give me a call. I'd be happy to talk with you on the phone. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.